tonight. Hello.
Hey, looking at GG.
Looking at GG.
Mute. All right. I'm actually not trading today. I'm not trading till NFP. I kind of feel like Ted now. Yeah, G just trying to break up over here. GG looks like it's trying to break up. But you have to wait for a candle to close above, like let's say 133, 240. Even a buy stop at 133, 300 would be perfect. That would work. Boom, boom. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it was a really good win. Wasn't really expecting that big of a drop, but was kind of expecting till 1470. But it dropped further. Damn. It's crazy. See, we're here every day. Every day we're just focusing on the same things. Because that drop happened here, right here. This was resistance we marked, 1486, 1487 yesterday. Candle closed. Entries were right over here. My entries were somewhere here, like 1482. As it was falling, breaking down. And then just, I was at the gym too, so I put stops at break even. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I'll just let it ride. And my stops were at break even, and it kept falling down. And when I was done from the gym, I looked at the phone. We were at 1471, like right here, somewhere here. This candle was still open because I spent like 45 minutes in the gym. You know, this candle was still open. I was like, oh shit! So I just closed. I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm good. So then this happened in this happened in Asian session yesterday. Made support. Oh, nice. We took 1459. Now gold is trying to go up, but it's approaching some problems here. So you gotta wait. I mean, if it goes up, it's not gonna go far. I mean, you got this support over here, so just gotta wait.
Hello, hello.
Hey, how are you, Salim?
I'm good. How are you, brother?
Good, good.
I caught around 6 pips on EJ
Oh, nice. You got sells?
during work. Yeah, the buy.
Oh, the buy. Oh, yes.
Yes, exactly.
Nice. That was a nice buy.
Yeah, during London.
Good afternoon, Miss Muhammad Wahid. Mr. Wahid in the house. How was the London session here?
It moved so good in London session.
Yeah, I'm looking at the charts. Oh, geez. That guy's doing good. What's his name? Jalil. Mr. Jalil.
Oh yeah, Jalil is doing good.
Yeah, Jalil does good trades.
Yeah.
Someone's in buys on GJ from 133. Oh, you're doing good, man. I think if you put your stops at 133 100, that'll be perfect, because 133 100 is a support created on the 30-minute. You know, so for it to continue moving up, it needs to respect the support at 133 100. I'm not trading, by the way, till NFP day. Had a good day yesterday. Still gonna chill. See, gold is moving up. Someone says if it's going to move down. If it's going to move down, you got to wait for gold to create some sort of resistance to go down. Now it's moving up, you know, potentially to 1471. Someone says 1474. That's perfect as well. You know, if you're new to the stream, welcome, welcome. This is your first or second day. If you haven't seen the introduction video, watch that video first. Who's that throwing boxes? That's probably Simon. Simon has the default, the dirty green color. No, that's not Simon. Look at this GJ. GJ's about to break up. Look at this 4 hour, man. If this breaks up, it's heading to 133, let's say 500. Oh wow, what's this? Gold is in a multi-year downtrend now. It's going to 850. You won't see 850. When will it go to 850? When? Tell me when. Wake me up when September ends. That's the day it's going to go to 850. I think gold's going to do some sort of a retest. It's going to create some sort of a resistance on the 4 hour charts. You know, 1474 is looking like a very strong level, so we'll wait and see, because it broke a very, very strong support. Gold. You know, this support was being held since 13th August, and it broke it after almost 1.5 months. You know, so it's going to do some sort of a retest. What's this? Carlos Taveras, CAD GPY. Breakdown. Yeah, so basically if they're heading down, these candles, you might want to see some sort of a candle create a resistance. Because, you know, if it's coming down, maybe this is an area it's going to come down to, right here. Oh, that's not enough pips. That's 8 pips. Not even. I think you'll have to look at the high time frame. 1 hour. Because there's a lot of consolidation here.
Rakeel.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm just looking at gold right now, and if I look at the 4 hour and the hour and the 30 minute, breaking that zone right at 68.
Yeah.
So what if it closes above? Is it going to go all the way up to 74?
I don't know. It seems like it, because like the way it's moving right now, it seems like it's approaching an area that might have some issues around 1470, 1471. So, you know, it just depends what, like, are you looking for buys or sells?
Well, I mean, if it's like there's, you know, that would be like a 40 pip range all the way to 73, 74.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the buy is there. If I look left on, you know, the hourly or 30 minutes, like the most recent traffic is clean all the way up there.
Yeah. That's what I think too. That can come up till 1471, 1472. You know, but like, if I were to look at it right now it'll get pretty difficult to say whether it's going to go up there or it's going to, you know, come down somewhere. Unless...
So you don't have a zone there, but like between like 68 and 67.
Right here?
Lower.
Oh, here.
There, yeah, that one.
Yeah, but it's moving up, right? So if it's moving up, I'm looking at the next clean area where it can move up to, right? So I mean, if it starts to create some sort of a support, you know, then I can say, okay, right, like if it's creating a support, it might match up to this area here to the left.
Yeah.
You know, then I can say, okay, awesome, I'm going to try to look for a buy and go towards 1472. But as it's moving up, I'd want to see it come up to 1471 or 1473 to see, like, you know, if it starts to create some sort of resistance to go down, or what we'll try to do.
Yeah.
Morning.
Hey, good morning. Oh, Simon.
How's it going?
Good, man.
Yeah, I think gold's going to go up 1474.
1474.
It's created support. It broke through the zone at 1465. Retested it. And see, yeah, kind of got the zone a little bit lower, but as long as 1465 holds, 1466, then it should go all the way up.
So you could have a 15 pip stop here for a potential 30 pip gain.
Yeah, so I'm kind of watching it now to pull back a bit before New York Open.
Yeah.
If I can get a stop down at like 1465 somewhere, that'd be awesome. But obviously, it's got to pull back quite a bit for that. But yeah, the 1 hour broke through, and then the new 1 hour retested it pretty much.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, if we believe that's going to continue to go up, the 15 minutes are going to keep making higher lows and higher highs.
Yeah.
And maybe now it's going to head up there, 1472.
Look on the 1 hour's pretty clear, really. This 1 hour's going to close in like 12 minutes.
Yep.
Pretty strong again. Yeah, it should get all the way up.
What's this? GJ, price may come back in the range. I'm in GJ buys. Perfect. You just want the 30 minute to close above and you're good. So this could be like a valid support zone. This valid support zone. And maybe this could be a target. Right here. What's this? USD CAD. High time frame, bearish 1 hour, 30 minute entry for close confirms. Safe target here. I would, since it's in an uptrend here, I mean, it's just still ranging too. It's in a very, very hard range. This makes sense. I would possibly look for like a support form for price to go up. Because I would look at it, price made a high, come down, create a support to retest that high. Ooh, looking for buys on EJ. EJ is retesting this zone here. But if it breaks it, it's coming down to this zone here at like 117,950. Hello, welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Roger.
Hey, Mr. Leon. Super early for you today. currently waiting for gold to do a retest on 1468 or so. 1468. Yeah, I mean, it's still creating higher lows and higher highs. You know, the 30-minute candle's about to close in 9 minutes. So if it's starting to go up, and if you're targeting 1471, even like 1472, then I guess you want the next 30-minute candle to continue moving up as well without breaking the low of the previous one.
But if you have a look at 1468 on the 15-minute.
Oh, look at this, 5 minutes.
It might now create support there.
Yeah, it's gonna pump now, man. Look at the 5 minute. It's gonna be one of those 6, 7 pip, 5 minute candles.
Yeah, last 8 minutes of the 1 hour. I better not just pump. I'll tell you, I want it to come back suddenly. Been watching it all morning, waiting for an entry. I like said, yeah, it should retest 1465, and it did, and I missed that as well.
What's this chart? Oh, yeah, someone sent this chart yesterday. Breaking the neckline for gold. Nice. EJ. I'd say wait for 30-minute candle to close bullish for EJ. EJ's making some nice structure though. Very easy structure to follow. Gold, I mean, should have entered here with the 15 pip stop. Target up here. Sometimes gold moves so much that the 15-minute candles are massive. 20 pip candles, 25 pip candles. And then you're like, holy gold, where you put your stop loss? You know, but you still gotta follow the plan. Every day, just follow the same plan. And then one day you're gonna catch a golden egg. I caught a golden egg yesterday. I'll be right back. minute candle in the last 2 minutes. Yeah, I guess that's why I kind of wait for the 30 minute to close more than the 15 minute. Look at that. Damn. GU target waiting for support to get before bullish move. Actually, looking at GU, let's see what the super secret website is saying. Yeah, I think GU could be a good buy. I think GPCAD could be a better buy. Now, all it will come down to is if this is the breakout candle, right? Because this candle is breaking above, then all these candles here to the left. So now if you wanted to continue up, I think the next one shouldn't break the low of the previous one and continue moving up, because that's going to create support on the 15 minute here. Look at the 15 minute candle. So depends on how this closes. You know, if it closes above, let's say this area here, 1.32022, I think that's going to be good for the 30 minute too. Let's look at the 1 hour. Yeah, 1 hour is good. It's solid bullish, closing above these 1 hour candles to the left. I'm gonna neaten up this zone here. Let's look at GPCAD. Ooh, your JPY is closed. Now see, your JPY is closing bearish, but it's closing above 118, let's say 118 for simplicity's sake. Because if you look left, these candles close below 118, these candles close below 118, this candle's closing bearish, but it's closing above 118. This means it tried to break down, but it couldn't break down. You know, now it's closing above it. So sometimes it's not about how the candle closes, but it's about where the candle closes. If you look at the 1 hour too, you know, it's closing above that area. So now, if someone's trying to, if I was looking for sells here, I wouldn't look for sells here. I would start looking for buys. Oh, looks like a lot of people are in GBP trades. Lots of people are in GBP trades. GU, GJ buys, GA buys. Interesting. Yeah, see what gold's doing? Gold's just being stupid now. Gold's respecting this resistance, it seems. Yeah, gold is respecting this resistance. Here. Now it gets really difficult to trade gold. It's a sell. Look at the 1 hour. Yeah, it's a sell. It's a sell. Look at the 1 hour rejection, but at the same time, then you're looking at, you know, like this support area, and then you're looking at this resistance area, and then you're looking at this rejection, and then you're saying, okay, well, you know, at least the 1 hour can go up to fill this wick, you know. But at the same time, when you look left, you're like, okay, there's a lot of consolidation here, right? So if it's a sell, are you selling it till this support? And if it's a buy, are you buying till, like, you know, this wick? So it's really hard. So I mean, if I was trading, I would at least wait for gold to come up to this area and see what happens. Because if it starts to break up, we know it's going to go up and correct this move, like, you know, like a little bit. But if you're looking for buys, and then you can have your stop below the previous 1 hour candle, that could work too, because then you're gonna say, okay, yo, look, I'm trying to trade this little continuation, no, this little retracement. GJ still hasn't broken. Look at EJ. See EJ? I think EJ's gonna consolidate here and break up. But now it's up to you whether you want to take this close as like a sign to continue to go up, or you can wait for price to come up here and give you confirmations and close above, and then you can say, okay, now we're gonna go up because there's a clean traffic to the left. All this doing analysis stuff, this is easy, you know. Executing is the main part. Sometimes you just gotta say, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna execute. Sometimes just execute. And you keep executing. Like, I think the thing is, you try to execute at the same candle formations. That's what you try to do. At the same kind of like a candle formation, you start to execute. If the candles are moving up, and okay, here's the thing. If the candles are moving up, and if they've just recently started going up, there's a high chance they will continue to go up. Let's put it that way. You know, if the gold 1 hour candle has moved up from this zone, then there's a higher chance that this current candle can continue to move up too.
Yeah. Morning.
Hey.
My mic better now?
Oh yeah, man.
Big
Big difference.
Back in the office. Yeah, I was just looking at gold. We hit 1460 as a support. And if you look on the daily, you can see that back on, remember we talked yesterday, back on August the 6th, there was that wick.
Yeah.
We tapped right into that. So this is where people are going to get into trouble with gold, because you're going to try and take buys or sells. I tend to believe that buys are probably more valid right now than sells, just because we're rejecting that area. But what you may find is today we pull up, and then tomorrow we fill the rest of this candle. So I think we have to be very careful with gold right now, and understand that, you know, this is not a time to try and fight gold. You know, if you can pull something out of it, like, you know, you can look on the hourly and at the hourly candles, and also 30-minute, you can see we're starting to pull up. So there's a very good possibility that we're going to move up with gold. But the problem is, do you want to take those trades based on the information that's happening right now? I think the thing is, this is where you sort of throw gold to the side, and like you said, look at GJ or look at EJ as better opportunities. I mean, there's no doubt that you probably get a trade with gold, but the problem is, does it make sense? And that's where a lot of traders make errors, because what they'll do is they'll try and take trades, and it's like, well, you know, because gold has dropped for the last 3 or 4 days, they think it's just going to continue. The drop has happened, and now we're going to get a bit of consolidation or movement that may not make sense. So now your idea is, okay, well, let's look at, you know, GJ as an example and see, okay, the daily starting to pull up, and if we break out of that range, you know, there's a good opportunity for a buy, potentially up to, you know, like 130, 134. If you look on the higher time frames, I think 134 is very achievable once we break out of 133, 300. So like once we break out of that level, yeah, you got it right.
Yeah, these wicks here.
Yeah. So I think that's an idea. So it's something to keep in mind, that as you trade, like yesterday, like if you traded Asian last night, that was the time to trade gold. Asian was just a nice clean drop. It was a continuation of the New York move, And that's something as you get better trading, you'll start to recognize where like the move will look cleaner. And the move cleaner with gold was to let it continue to drop and fill the daily wick from yesterday, which it did, and then exit. So
yeah, I've noticed like after there's a big move in New York, it's gonna consolidate for a couple hours, and then like around 9 p.m. it's gonna start to move again.
yeah, like I had gold take profit at 1760, and it actually dropped to there, but I ended up closing at 1764, or sorry, 1460, and I actually closed at 1464. So I mean, I wasn't that far off from the actual move that it dropped. It was just I didn't want to. I hate getting stopped out in the last week. I've been stopped out so many times with gold, getting like 2 or 3 pips because I've just moved my stop loss to the profits. So this one I was like, I'm just going to take it.
Yeah, Wick's really hard.
Yes. So this time I just took the trade, and that was it. I was like,
Yesterday there was no retracement. Like after it broke 1482, 1481,
yes.
It just dropped.
yeah, the thing that I was looking at with gold is I had a resistance at 1474, and once it failed to break that and it started to break down, I took sells at that point. I started to take sells right at 1473 and 1471. So those were my sell points to start taking sells last night on the Asian session. And I was able to grab like 20 pips, 60 pips, and 8 pips. Because the 8 pips I got stopped out at 8 o'clock. And then I was like, screw this, I'm re-entering at 9. And 9 o'clock gave me the drop that I needed till about midnight. So it was a 3-hour trade.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Rakeel. Rakeel. No one ever pays attention to me.
Good morning, Alex.
Morning, Burner. Yo, I wanna. Where's Rakeel? I wanna tell him something.
He left when you showed up.
Nah! That's fine.
What's up?
I just wanted to tell him how I'm up 40 pips on GCAD with a fake out call. Whew. I want him to show the chart. When he comes back, I'll show you guys. Nasty, beautiful fake out on the 4-hour. I entered on the retest back in the channel. 40 pips up. And I got some Marcos, good morning. Good morning.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, hey, Rakeel. Rakeel,
Hey.
are you listening to me?
Yep.
Can I show you something?
Sure.
When you're done posting, ooh, that's a nice chart. But
Yeah. It kind of looks pretty hard to trade gold because it just looks really hard to trade gold right now.
Coach, can you go to GCAD 4-hour?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna show you how I'm up 40 pips on that 4-hour fake out.
Oh nice.
Go to the 4-hour. Look at that channel. Woof. Let me see where we at. Damn, why do these yours look different than my own?
Oh, is this a reversal again from Asian session?
Yes.
Damn. This was yesterday right here.
Yeah, and look at yesterday again.
And then again. Oh man. Okay, perfect.
But I wanted to show you, like, the 4-hour has a nasty fake out. There was a 4-hour channel that they came out, then it closed back in the range, so I bought it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I
But
think
you
it's.
see how that strategy sometimes works mostly all the time.
Yeah. Sometimes it works mostly all the time. Yeah, I think GP Cat has a continuation going here. It's gonna continue up.
No, yes, for sure, bro. Like, remember when GCAD's in momentum, let it form like 30-minute support, and you buy that shit.
Yes.
However, though, 163,500 is a monthly break. It's gonna be.
Oh, head and shoulder formed on H4. I think this shoulder is pretty lagging. Don't you think? Like, this shoulder is dislocated now, it's continuing. This is where the pattern ends, you know? So now also you can say that we're ranging here on the 4 hour. Or are you going to include this? Yeah, I don't know, man. 4 hours moving up over here. 1 hour is also moving up over here. Unless you see this 1 hour close bearish back, then you gotta wait for the support to break. Because look at this mess. This is garbage right here. Garbage. G-A-R-B-A-G-E. TP cat moving, GU moving up. I feel like there's gonna be it's gonna be a big push. What time in Africa? What's this? Bias. Need price to close above. New month potentially create bottom weight before push. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's take a look at that. This is the start of the new month. Yep. This new month is gonna go bullish. The only problem is that it's gonna go bearish first. You see, if this was on the 30-minute time frame, I'd say, well, you know, candles are gonna come down and we'll take a buy, and as long as price stays above here, we should continue moving up. So I think 137 would be a good target here. How many pips is this? 63 pip stop and a 44 pip take profit. You like that risk reward? Pretty good risk reward.
Click my chart, Rakeel.
Yep.
You see it?
Entry candle. Oh yes, I see it. I see it. I see it now. Now I see it. I wasn't seeing it before.
Yeah, I had to show you because it was too easy to call.
Yeah.
And plus it was the London Open, so it coincided with my plan.
Yeah, that was support. This candle closed with no wick as well. This closed back in the range. And now there's a high chance it can break this range and continue here.
But that's a monthly level, so it's
Yeah.
gotta have some juice.
Has some juice. Loose.
You know what someone told me in Jeevan's group that I was looking at, and it was pretty like, for people having trouble finding like momentum, he told me that in the 4 hour, just have the 200 EMA, and wherever price is above or below, that's where momentum is. I was looking at it, I was like, wow, it makes sense. It was true.
Nice.
Sorry, I have area of the mouth today.
You got cooties today. Please keep it up no matter that more have to are watching a garbage. There's a dude on YouTube, he called half the people here garbage. Yeah, I mean, gold is just ranging now. I would just wait for this 30-minute to close. Because you want this to close bullish for it to continue moving up. Because if it closes bullish, then you can say, oh, we've created support here, And now we're going to continue moving up. 15 minute has closed bullish as well in this consolidation. So that adds to the confirmation. GJ, on the other hand, is under some dark clouds trying to break.
Somebody's at the arena for the soccer stadium.
No, it was a bunch of Asians fighting.
For dog meat? Hey.
Hey, someone sent me a video. Oh, what's this? Raja, buy GJ, 100% will break. Yeah, I'm not taking any trades. Peace on. Look what we're doing. Look this. If price can break this zone, I look to buy, question mark. Yes. But then you also know where you look to exit and where you look to have stop loss. As you see right here, we're continuing to move up. Any Telegram link? Mr. Holy Gang. No Telegram link. Raja, if I was you, I'd fly on a damn island with good weather and leave laptop and phone at home and pretend overtrading. Yeah. Yes. But I like doing this, you know? I like doing this. This is so nice. We got elevator music. Oh, Jalil is in buys. If Jalil is in buys, this trade is going to work out 80% of the time.
I'm in buys also, Rakeel.
Oh, Simon's in buys too.
Yeah, you just look on the 15 minutes, created support there, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Makes sense. I've got a sell stop above the high as well for when it blasts off.
A sell stop. Oh, can't see the chart. Oh wow, GU is heading up. GP CAD has moved. Nice. That means DJ has moved.
Oh, it hasn't.
Yeah. This was a 20 pip move here. Raja, Sean Lee posted a story on Instagram about you. Did you see? Oh no, I didn't. I can't see his stories. He blocked me. So yeah, I can't see. Gold is moving.
I feel like I'm in some hotel lobby, Rakeel, with this music.
Yeah. Hey Alex, those cartridges, they're still working. I just changed one.
I mean, you still have some.
I still have some. I just changed one.
Oh, okay, yeah, because why wouldn't they work, silly?
You know, like...
Yo, Jeevan didn't go get him, huh?
No, I still have his.
Oh, well.
I've already confiscated one of them. Storage
Which
tax.
one,
Yeah.
Coach, have you taken any trades today?
No trades today.
Rakeel made bank yesterday. You don't need to trade this week.
What's that? Oh yeah. Yeah, to be honest, I haven't really looked at the charts since yesterday. I haven't really looked at the charts. Because I feel like if I look at them in a perspective to take a trade, I might lose. Ooh, look at this. But hey, our calls have been nice on GPCAD and GJ and GU. Your JPY stuck.
Somebody in mute.
Imagine you go on a date and your date starts playing this piano for you. There you go, nice. Some jazz, some trumpets. UJ, I don't like UJ. I don't. UJ I think is going to be a big range till NFP. Like if you look at gold has big enough ranges. I mean, look at this range from the support 1466. It's like 30 pips, and from this point all the way to 72, it's like 30 pips, right? But when you look at UJ ranges are smaller, man. Look at this. I mean, from this support to where price is now, it's like 7 pips. They're very, very small ranges. So you really gotta choose. You really gotta pick your fights. Oh, but hey, if UJ comes down, there's a chance UJ can continue moving down. You know, till 108, probably. GJ closes bullish after this 30-minute wick, then it's a good time to buy, yeah? Let's take a look at that. 30-minute candle. Yeah, I think that'll be a good time to buy if this closes bullish. Strong bullish. You want to see a strong bullish candle here. Why would be going long in gold when it's overall downtrend and somewhat already waiting for a retest? Yeah, sure. I mean, I would say wait for NFP. That's what I would say. Let's look at the calendar here. Ooh, ISM. Yeah, that's gonna move gold. ISM index, that's gonna move gold. Expecting good numbers. The difference is 2 points. Yeah, they're expecting good numbers. So that's gonna move gold. That's also gonna create a bigger range for UJ too. You know, the thing is, sometimes, you know, like people say that, oh, you have to wait for the week after NFP. And the reason why is because let's say the week of NFP you have small ranges, and when news hits you have, like, you know, big price moves. So when you have big price moves, that creates larger ranges. So when you have the new week starting, then in the new week you have a larger range to play in. That's why they say, oh, the week after NFP is great, because you have bigger ranges to play in. And bigger ranges means more pips you can secure. So if you look on GJ now, GJ is playing in a very, very, you know, it's like a tight range. So you need a big break. If there's a big break, that's awesome, because now GJ has created a big range. Ooh, look at that. Gold's moving.
Yep, come on, gold. Let's go.
Come on, gold. Oh, almost 9 pips over here. Let's continue to move up. 20 pips, 30 pips. Raja, is this a good place to put my resistance line for to close above to buy? Yes, I would say so, mate. Yeah, it looks like 15 minute has created this support here.
Yeah, should do that curl, right? It should push.
Bearish bias, aggressive sell, high risk, high reward, major resistance, stop loss, target. Perfect. Well done. $7.30, 30-minute candle has closed. 30-minute candle has closed bullish. There's a higher chance this new 30-minute candle can continue moving a bullish.
I'm up 16 pips on DCAD sells. I closed out all my buys and I sold on that resistance because it's a pretty major resistance.
GG was coming down. 30-minute candle closed bearish. GG also dropped. See how really important it is to wait for candles to close above a zone? Really important.
Yeah, my GCAT cells are flying, bro. 2250.
Wow, look at that rejection there too.
I knew that's a major level, man, for it to break. And usually in New York it reverses, so I was like, fuck this.
You should have said something. Hey, Roger.
Oh, shit. It's not like you were going to take the trade, though, coach.
Oh, of course I would have. I would have said, okay. Alex told me to do it.
DJ do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took a sell, but my stop was too tight. It worked, and it came down.
What's this? How do you know you tested a strategy enough? Well, you don't know if you've tested a strategy enough. Because I always feel like I haven't tested something enough. You know, because every time the market's going to print almost the similar setups, but in different ways. Sometimes it's going to come a little early, sometimes it's going to come a little late, sometimes it's going to be presented to you in a weird fashion that you've never seen before. You know, so it's a continuous learning process. I've been on this stream for like an hour now, and I haven't even been tempted to take a trade. Gold, I actually was tempted when this 15-minute moved up, and the next one moved up. I was tempted a little bit, then I was like, nah, it's okay, it's okay. Your JPY candles keep closing above that area. Wow, such a sad day for trading today. So sad. It's a very hard day to trade. It's been an hour and nothing has really moved the way it seemed. This thing here did a fake out, closed above. Next candle, you know, it closed bearish. So even if you were in a GU buy and this candle closed bearish, that kind of gave you some hint that, okay, well, you know, you might want to exit the trade, because essentially you would have wanted this to close some sort of like a bullish candle or a rejection, which you could say, oh, we're rejecting this area. Sadness come from the music. Change it, please. I think sadness comes when you are in a drawdown. That's much more sad than the music. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Okay, let me change the music here for you. Let's see what else YouTube audio library has. Oh, I have 6 copies of each song for some reason. Yeah. This is a hotel kitchen music. I made that mistake on GU, did not take my profits. Well, it's also because maybe you can put stops at break even, you know. Because if you have stops at break even, then you're like, okay, you know what, I'm good. I have stops at break even. Don't be fooled by this drop. Don't be fooled by this drop. It's just GJ from the block. Because GJ monthly is going to create some sort of a wick and then continue bullish. That's the analysis. So maybe the next month candle is going to look something like, let's draw a monthly candle here. Something like this. Yep. Something like that. I'm in a drawdown on EG, but I'm not sad. Okay. Oh wow, GU is fallen. Fallen hard.
Coach, could you said don't be fooled by this drop? I closed out all my cells. I'm happy. I'm done.
No, that's good, man. You did good. Oh shit, these things are dropping. Yeah, if we break below 132.900, it's going down to 132.780. This support right here. And then, ooh, this is a good one here.
You know what, Coach? Going back to what you were saying, like there's plenty of times that my trade goes in profit, and as soon as it hits like 7 pips or even 8 pips, I put my stops at break even. Sometimes it takes me out, but I rather like get out at break even than get out, like, because you said like there's nothing worse than being in profit and then getting hit your stop loss, a trade that was once in profit, and get, you know, you lose it. It sucks.
Yeah, it's not even about that. It's also about like when being in profits and now you're in drawdown.
Yes.
Even if it doesn't hit your stop, but like being in drawdown just generally sucks. Being in drawdown sucks.
Believe it or not, that affects your psychology.
Oh yeah.
You're in drawdown too much.
100%. See, EJ no trade. EJ is not a trade. Gold, now gold's coming down to 1466.
Yeah, I'm out of gold. Took a few pips loss there.
Yeah. GJ coming down. I guess GJ couldn't close above. I think this was a good confirmation candle, the 30-minute. even though it closed with no wick to the bottom, but GJ tried to break above in London, and if it couldn't break up in London session, and it couldn't break up in New York, so I guess it's going to break 132.900 and continue down here, 132.750. Yeah, that would make sense.
Hey, coach, I'm still in that GCAD daily chart, so it still hasn't hit my stop loss. It's back in profit.
Oh, nice.
But that one I only did one position.
Daily chart sell.
Remember from yesterday's chart?
Yeah.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yo, Alvarez, I don't think I could do it as well as you.
Good morning, macaroni.
What? Do what is good? Do what is what?
You're famous.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Hey, come on, bro. We're trying to talk. Hello.
Yeah, true. Who caught those GJ cells? Easiest cells of my life. Easiest.
What were you saying, Dimitri? God damn it.
What do you mean? What was I saying? I was saying no one can do that. Good morning, good morning, good morning. As good as you.
That's right. I believe so.
You have the perfect pitch and tone.
Exactly. Tell them to stop doing this. Only one person, please.
Oh man, GJ was a blessed cell.
Yes, it was, bro.
I have a feeling this daily candle could go bearish, so
Entry, stop loss, TP. Yeah, makes sense. This makes sense. Even this ranging, so you're trying to play the range, that makes perfect sense. Is it just me, or time is just going by really, really slow? Like it's not even 8.
Yeah, I think so.
Just because since you took a pretty nice decent profit, will you take most of the profits off, or? Yeah, I'm probably gonna withdraw 20 and then keep the rest in. Ooh, someone sent a gold chart. Candle needs to close below the previous candle for a sell. Perfect, yeah, makes sense. There's also news in 2 hours for gold, so that might move gold a lot. ISM news is coming in. Ooh, nice. Alex made some nice profits. Very nice.
man, gold needs to close above 1268.50 for buys. I don't know what it's saying. It's just chilling at the support. Like, it's just making a range right now.
Anyone using fxgm.com? Well, since nothing exciting happening here, let's check this out. fxgm.com. Looks like there's a virus in my computer. It's not letting me open google.com. Okay. Let's go with that. Oh, you guys remember our friend here? What was his name? Obinks. Lots of people don't really remember him. I probably don't even know him. Obinks. Orbins is a legendary trader. Oh, he's live. Nice. What's Orbins doing today? Oh, he has 0. Oh. Are we the only ones? Come on. This
Man,
is what.
does that bring memories?
Yeah.
Nostalgia.
Oh, we're the only viewers. We're the only ones. Hey, son, you want some coffee? Hot. Yeah, he was the drawdown king. He used to be in massive drawdowns. I think, like, if you look at gold, he'd be the one holding gold buys.
One of those screens you had up, it looked like Tetris.
Yeah, looked like ketchup. Oh, this GG is about to fall here. 132, 770. New York Open. New York Open candle or in the next 5 minutes. GU is falling and gold is falling.
It looks like everything is bearish now.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade gold till the news. The news in 2 hours. I don't trust it. Don't trust it. Because gold had a very clean move yesterday, so why would it be faithful today? Today, gold's going to just take all your money. That's what gold's going to do.
I think gold is going to take out its famous dildo, New York thing.
Yeah, it's going to start poking everyone in the face. You want to buy? There you go. You want to sell? There you go. Yeah, there you go. You're just going to drop down. Your JPY is a no trade today in New York session. Your JPY is a no trade today. GP Caddy. The pound were nice sells if we just saw the confirmations. Hey Mr. Raja, my profits are dropping. Well. My profits are constant like constant pips. I was about to open trade and then I didn't. I stopped myself. Why no trade today? I don't know. I didn't feel like trading today. Might not trade till FOMC. Oh no, NFP on Friday.
Oh, come on, don't say that.
Yeah, man. 100%.
Are you protecting your profits, huh?
Yes. Protecting their profits.
Yeah, I think people forget that. I think they don't realize that they should be not looking to take a trade every day. You should be looking to see if there's opportunity in the market, but if there isn't, you should be happy because then there's no risk.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you're in a hurry to make money, like I always say, go get a job. I mean, yesterday was the day where you got paid. And now you know, and then the last 5 Mondays, we've had really good movement in the market, and then Tuesday has been sort of dog shit where it's bounced around a bit, and it's been very difficult to find a position. Like we've looked, and you know we've gotten 1 or 2 here and there, but it's never been very, very clean. It's always been, you know, we've always seen moves that have happened a little bit later in the morning. But I'm happy if you can hold on to profits and not lose it, man, be happy.
Going back to what you said, Ted, today was my first trade of the week. You know, you don't have to trade every day.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's also people that do that.
I'm still here for the streams because I like watching price. I like seeing how pairs move.
Well, of course. Like, I mean, I'm always going to wake up and I'm always going to try and come in and see if there's an opportunity. But I'm not going to force opportunities just because I see certain things. I need a lot of things to line up. You know, the higher time frames, when the higher time frames look very shaky. I mean, I'd rather wait for them to be very straightforward. I mean, this is an environment and this is an opportunity where you can sit back and you can take the easiest trades and just once or twice a week find the easiest opportunities and make money. And I don't understand why people don't look at it that way. It's like you're forcing yourself to find something that doesn't exist. Where yesterday when gold kept dropping, all you had to do is push the sell button. And it was like, it didn't matter when you took a sell yesterday, as long as you held your position, you were in profit. And there, at one point, it dropped like $5 or $6 in one 5-minute candle. And it's just funny that people now today are like, well, how come there's no positions? It's like, man, did you see what happened yesterday? We dropped from like 14.90 to 14.60. There was like a $30 drop. Like, how much more do you want? You know, so it's interesting. I mean, I just wish people would find that inner patience. And I understand everybody wants freedom and everybody wants that extra dollar, but you're going to set yourself back more than you're going to set yourself forward by always saying, hey, I need to find something. And when you get used to the fact that the market is here every week and you start to notice patterns, it's like, you know that, hey, for the last 5 Mondays, we've had the continuation off of Friday. So you sort of sit back and say to yourself, hey, I'm going to wait till next Monday and catch the continuation of Friday next week at the end of this week, right? Like, why wouldn't we like start looking at opportunities that way instead of just coming to the markets each day and saying, hey, is there something here? Is there something there? It's like, no, I already have in my mind programmed that next Monday I'm going to whack the market again if the opportunity presents itself. Like, I've already written that down for myself that Monday I have to watch to see what happens on Friday, so that I'm aware to grab a move on Monday, right? And then I know Tuesday is sort of all over the place, so I sort of reduce my risk and I just have to sit back and wait. And then I know Wednesday and Thursday are going to be my power moves again for the week, right? So it just, you know, you got to get used to that. You got to start making notes about trading, in that respect. Not just where's your trading, but when is your most profitable times? And over the weeks, when have the biggest moves taken place? And that's what you have to start doing, is start marking down where the big moves have happened and why have they happened, and start anticipating those. And that's really how you become a good trader, is understanding, hey, when to push the gas pedal and when to release the gas pedal. You know, it's just very straightforward. You know, I just feel that, you know, a lot of people are just showing up going, oh, is gold going up? Is gold going down? Is GJ up or down? And it's like, wait a second. When were the big moves last week with this pair? And are we on that day that we could see a big move? Or is there going to be a catalyst that's going to make that move happen again? Or are we just going to sit back and just watch the market today for a couple hours? Like, you have to get used to that, and you have to use those critical thinking skills and apply that information, because I feel that people are just showing up saying, well, I'm going to take a trade today because the market's down or the market's up. And it's like, well, take a closer look, and, you know, maybe the market's just ranging today and it's not something you want to get into.
Excuse me, Ted. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, I have a question. How do you determine your whys? Why did this move happen and why did this move happen? What do you look for?
Well, what I do is I look to see the move that I missed or I caught, and then what I do is I look first to see if there was a news event or if there was unexpected news that came out related to that move. The other thing, what I do is I look if, for example, with gold, we saw gold drop. And what, you know, the question is, you say, well, why did gold drop? Well, there was obviously tension relief with the tariffs. We heard about that, but there was no deal yet. So people are anticipating a deal, so they dropped the market a bit. The other thing is, what I look at is, last week at this time, what happened in the market? So, you know, was there a big move or a big correction at that point? What did the higher time frames look at? Where are we in the month? Like, if we're finishing off the month, and if you look at your smaller time frame candles, the higher time frames work the same way. It's just the fact that they move a little bit slower, but the moves are a lot bigger as well. So it's something, you know, when you look at, you have to say to yourself, hey, does that does that make sense? And, you know, why did that happen? You have to put all those ideas together. You have to create a story. And a lot of people aren't good at telling the story. You have to be able to say to yourself, okay, which way are we moving? Why are we moving that way? And what are the opportunities that lie, right? So if we turn around and we look at gold, and we can say right now gold is starting to move down a bit. You can see we created a resistance level on the 30-minute around 1469. Now we're at 1467. We tapped 1460 earlier this morning through London. So there's a good possibility that we could drop right back down. But if I turn around and I look at my daily candle, I can start to see that the daily candle's rejecting 1460, and that might be a clue to back in August, when we look in August 7th or August 6th, there was rejection at that same level. So I have to be very cautious at this level. So I have to say to myself, okay, what normally happens in the US session when the London session hits a major support? And that's what you have to ask yourself now with gold, is what normally happens. So what do? We have to go back and we have to look at major support levels. And it doesn't have to be at 1460. You could look at support levels at 1500, 1520, 1530, wherever you want to look and see a major support on a higher time frame. And just look at that daily candle and look and see what happens from the London session into the USA session, and observe and back test that scenario and say to yourself, hey, every time gold hits a major support or a major resistance, there's a major rejection, or, you know, we have problems at this level to trade at. Even though I see that there's a range of maybe 20 or 30 pips, I can see that it was difficult to trade because there is really no clean moves with gold. So now I'm going to stay away from that opportunity, and I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to go look at another pair, things of that nature. That is how you have to tell your story when you're trading. It's not, well, gold's dropping on the 30-minute and the 1 hour, okay, I'm going to take this trade and do this. You have to be able to put everything together and see why it's working that way, and understand what is the advantage or disadvantage of opening positions at this price level. You know, like yesterday, we talked about that, and Rakeel talked about yesterday. If it breaks this price level, we're going down. And we knew that 1470, 1460, they were good targets. We talked about that all morning. So that's a little bit safer because we can see already that the weekly, the daily, the monthly candles have formed bearish. We know that there's a good opportunity that if we continue this way, we're going to drop. And how did we know that? We had rejection from the upside, and we pushed all the way down through the downside. And that was a perfect scenario where, you know, you're able to take advantage of that. So now when you come back today, you say to yourself, okay, well, I'm trying to find the same scenario, but I don't see it. Well, of course you don't see it. Gold dropped $30 yesterday. Why is gold going to drop another $30 today if there's no catalyst for that drop? More than likely, it may pull back a bit before it continues to drop again, because why? We need a break. We need relief in that position. You can't just have something continually trail down. So you need to understand why things are happening and how they're happening, but also understand that at major price levels, we might not get a move that we're expecting.
All right, I see. Thank you very much, Ted. No problem.
See, GJ had a nice drop to the next level here. It worked. Kind of closed above and broke support.
Yeah, that was easy.
Yeah, gold is a no trade today. I mean, look at that.
Kind of looks like a fake out on a 30-minute.
It has created support on the 1 hour though. I just banked about 10 pips on the new 1 hour candle. As you can see, the previous two 1 hour candles have both closed in the same place.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm still more thinking it's going to push up at the moment. just because the 1 hour this morning closed above that like 1466 zone, and we're holding that sort of zone as support now. So I don't see sales unless we get back down below sort of like 1464.
I'm just a little wary about some of the China and U.S. news. China buying
Yeah,
like
I mean,
all
like
the
Ted
soybeans
said,
and
it's
stuff.
not a good trade today on gold at all. It's not clean at all. GJ, wow, melting.
GJ was an easy trade. Shouldn't close, dang it. Whatever.
Wow.
Close at like 7.7, 132.77.
Yeah.
Figured I should just take my profits.
It seems like GJ now is going to move a little bit to the downside. So
Yeah, I mean, if it breaks down 132.70,
yeah,
you can see it drop
Yeah,
at
that 4
least
hour.
another 20 pips.
yeah, it seems like it's gonna move. The 30-minute is approaching a consolidation area. That's the thing that I'm watching right now. But I mean, technically speaking, if we break through this, I mean, a good target would be 132.400. That's if it does indeed break this level.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know what the catalyst is for this drop, unless it's the Brexit and instability again. That they're gonna make a deal.
Uncertainty.
Yeah, they're gonna make a deal either way, and it's not gonna be as effective. So, but when you're looking at the daily and looking at the weekly candle, I mean, this weekly candle now starts to go bearish on the weekly. I mean, you have a chance first to fill to 134 or 131.200 almost. I think we have a chance to fill that whole range. So we can go back into the 131s. So I think we'll see. I mean, if the opportunity is there, you'll see it throughout the week. I think we have a massive ideas. So it's just a matter of waiting for them to take place at this point. So it's not a big deal. I think, like I said, take your time, let the trade develop. I mean, even if you look at the weekly and you put sells below 132.200, if we break that, you know that we're going down to 131, and that's a huge 100 pip move. So you have opportunity there. So don't throw yourself under the bus right now and be like, hey, it's Tuesday, I got to get in. You might find if you wait till tomorrow or even later on today, you might have a nice move all the way down to 131. So it's just something to keep in mind when you're looking through your trades.
All right, gold pushing now.
Who's we though? You couldn't have caught GJ. Nobody would have caught GJ unless you were actually looking for that particular move. I think, like I said, it's just the trading ideas behind it to say why are we comfortable taking that opportunity? Right now, you can see on the higher time frames, GJ's ranging a bit, so we have to wait for it to break below a certain range. Ted, am I right?
GJ.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, on the 30-minute, see at the top of where he has that resistance, it rejected like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
Yep.
6 times. I took it once that 30-minute closed bearish.
Yeah. The only thing is you're approaching a consolidation area. So if you turn around and you look right to the left, you can see all this. So that's your problem when you're coming into this trade now. You're going to have to fight through there, where if you turn around and you have below consolidation over here, you might have more of a drop, where here you're coming into traffic right there. So that's sort of your only issue, is if you can push through that traffic, then you're in good shape. But if we break through that, then you know that we have a cleaner move to the downside. And this downside move here at 134 or 132.40, you might find that that will be the move for the week all the way into the 131s. You know, so you might, like I said, if you're patient, you might have an opportunity later this week for anywhere in past 132. But if we push back up, then, you know, obviously we would be looking to take trades up at this level here and allowing that to move there. So it's just how you're going to manage your trades and sort of what your expectation is. Based on the daily candle, my expectation is we're going to have a continued drop. We have massive rejection on the daily. So for me, once again, if you think about it logically, if we have massive rejection on the daily, where do we believe that those orders are going to go? They're going to have to go somewhere, right? So you have to figure out yourself and say, okay, where do I think that they're going to go on the daily? Where do I think those orders are going to go? Where's my next daily level? Well, you can see Rakeel's basically drawn it out here that, you know, essentially on the hourly, this candle here, we should probably tap into this level here. So you have, you know, 10 pips or so to go down, but once it does break, we may have even a further move. Why does everybody love GJ? I think people like pairs that move very quickly. That, you know, there's a lot of opportunity. With that, you also find that you have, you know, with massive moves up and down, you have to also accept that there's drawdown at that point too. So just, you know, you have to be very aware of that. But if you caught the move right now, you're in profit. You can just let it run to 132.500, and then just make a decision at that point to close your trade, because you can see on the hourly we have support right over here. So, you know, you could say to yourself, hey, all this traffic coming up, I'll let this candle push through, and then I might find I come right to 500 or, you know, around there, close my position. Or what I'll do is I'll put my stop loss maybe right up over here at 787, or, you know, over here just before consolidation, and let the candles then do the work in that consolidation area to break further down again. So it's really what your comfort level is, and what you believe your risk to reward is. Because like right now, if you're in the trade, maybe you're 4 or 5 pips in profit, maybe that's good enough for you, and then you close the trade and then you're done, right? So it's all dependent on what your comfort level is and where your risk lies.
Yeah, you know, like this candle sell of this support, if some took these sells, you know, this came from the experience that, oh, we couldn't break above, so we had to break down. We were talking about this earlier when this candle was closing.
Right at the New York Open.
Ooh, someone got 2 winners today. Perfect.
This was a disgusting move from GG. I'm done for the day.
You caught it, Dimitri?
Yeah, 60 pips.
Nice, bro. And you dropped like
you
80
know
standards.
Yo, but yesterday it was stupid because, like, at Asian Open, I didn't even realize that we had to fill the daily wick. So then I got stopped out because, like, I had buys initially, but then you know how, like, it ranges and it, like, wicked out and then stopped me out. So it went up to my resistance where I had my, like, sell limits, but they didn't trigger. So then I woke up earlier today and then I took an entry and then it just tanked. I mean, if you look on the weekly, it has to tank. Like, we have to tap at least like 131, like Ted said. I mean, that's going to be our pullback for the monthly in order to go up to like 145, right? So, like, we're definitely breaking that major support at the bottom, 100% fam.
At what situation would you place pending order when patiently wait for confirmation. When there's news. When there's news, that's going to be a good place to place pending orders. I mean, that's what I do. If it's going to be like a very strong zone, then, but you know, like every time that like charts different all the time, right? That's very subjective. So it depends from situation to situation. Am I trading CAD news? Ooh, this CAD GDP. Not really. Let's look at the daily. Daily's coming down. If daily is coming down, it could come to 1.62, 150. Let's look at the weekly here. Weekly is also bearish. This could be a nice target. Let's see what they're expecting. Ooh, they're expecting a lower number. But they've always expected low numbers, and the number has always been good. So I think it's going to be good numbers here again. So it could make sense for it to fall. So I think if you're looking for, I mean, so you have support here, right? So below the support, you could have a sell stop. Below the support and above this 1 hour candle high, you can have a buy stop. But you gotta wait.
You're clearly trading the 10 a.m. news?
No. No, sir. See, now is the bad time to sell GJ because this dropped down, this was the trade. So if you're coming in now, you know, or if you've missed it, you've missed it. What am I going to do today? I'm going to do some back. I'm going to do some back and biceps today. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. For example, the Euro AUD pair, there was interest rates. I took buys. It kept going up for 150, where it keeps going since it was a catalyst. Oh, nice. How can you use the fact that some pairs, in this case, NZD USD and AUD USD, move in the same way? Yep, because they're both closed. So they're being used by the US dollar.
Yeah, I think you guys are talking a lot of hypotheticals that they're not they're not balanced discussions. Like, you know, people are like, well, what if this happens? It's like, but yeah, I mean, that's like saying, well, what if I get pocket aces and the guy goes all in on me? What do I do? Well, you go all in, right? You would call. It's just these questions. I don't know how they're helping you learn, because there's not enough information surrounding the questions. It's like, well, what if there's a fundamental break and price drops? Well, then it drops. I don't know how much it would drop. I don't know what it's going to do. You have to be able to give more relevant examples. Like, you have to give more specific examples, and you have to show a chart to talk about sort of these ideas, because it's just like it's just like, was the food good yesterday? Yeah, it was good. Like, I don't know what food you had. I don't know where you ate. I don't know if you ever ate there before. I think you're just asking questions for asking questions, and those questions that you're asking, I don't know if they're beneficial to your knowledge base. Like, because we're not talking about scenarios that have existed. I would rather talk about scenarios where you can show me a chart and historical reference so that we can now plan out a future reference. Like, just saying hypotheticals, I can't trade hypotheticals, and it's very difficult to, you know, learn from hypotheticals. You know, it's like the reason why you take driving lessons and actually get in a car is because you actually need to be able to push the brake and push the gas. You can't sit in a driving class and say, well, if I'm going 60 miles an hour, how hard should I tap the brake to go back down to 0 miles an hour? It's like, well, I don't know. Like, are you on wet roads, dry roads? Is there a car in front of you? Are you going downhill? Like, you have to be able to show a real world example and be like, hey, I was in the car yesterday and it started to rain, my tires got wet, and I skidded like 30 feet before I came to a complete stop. And then we can say, okay, well, what road were you on? What kind of tires do you have? What kind of car do you drive? And get a more overall picture. Not just saying, well, I skidded yesterday because I pushed the brakes. It's like, well, okay, great. Like, you know, what happened? It's just very, very difficult to just have a proper discussion. And I want people to start putting together ideas, using charts as an example to formulate those discussions, or previous trades that you've taken to open those discussions. If you can't do that, you're not going to be successful at trading. I'm sorry to say. It's just facts of life. Scalping in the AM for 2 hours and swing other opportunities I see throughout the day. I guess I should master one before continuing. Well, I mean, what is your plan? To say that you want to scalp sometimes and swing trade sometimes, it just seems like you're just trying to pick ideas out of the air. Why don't you take your time and figure out which method of trading you're more comfortable with, and look at your results and see if those results dictate a comfort level that you can continue trading with. You know, what I guess my question is, what are pros and cons knowing certain pairs correlate? Well, I don't know. Once again, like, I don't know what you're trying to do. Like, you know, what's the pros and cons of the weather being hot or cold? I don't know. If you like cold weather, there's a pro that the weather's cold. If you like hot weather, then there's a con of the weather being cold. Like, those questions, there's no relevancy to those questions, and I'm sorry for being very honest, but what are the pros and cons? I mean, I don't know. Like, you know, are you going to trade both pairs at the same time? Do you understand how both pairs move? Do you understand how both countries' economics work? I don't know. You know, do you live in those countries? Does that help you more? It's just, you know, you try and figure out and say, hey, what makes the most sense? I just think that there's a lot more discussion required. I mean, I don't know, the pros and cons, like, a lot of pairs correlate. I don't know if that's a pro or a con. I don't know. It depends on what your trading plan is, and it depends on what you're trying to do with those pairs, if it's a pro or a con. right? Like, I mean, my car drives fast. Is that a pro or a con? It's a pro when I'm on the highway. It's a con when I'm in traffic, right? Like, I don't know, like, what's the relevancy? Well, I drive on the highway all the time. Okay, well then it's a pro that you have a fast car. You know, it's a con if I have a car that just, I drive through traffic. I don't need a fast car. It's just, you know, you got to figure out what makes, like, how to interpret that, I guess.
This. Let's take a look at this. Oh, can't open the chart. Too bad, so sad. Wow, GU is still going. It's approaching. Right, we also got news coming in now. We got news coming in 15 seconds. Is this dropping to spike up liquidity, or will it drop down to the zone here? Ooh, drop down for liquidity. Yeah, I guess that was a drop down for liquidity. Right before the news, 20 pips. That was a fun thing to watch. I think USD CAD also moved up. Where's USD CAD? Oh wow, USD CAD moved up. Oh, 15 pips. It looks big. Yeah, same thing. Dropped down for liquidity. Kind of, you know, went up, came down, and GJ going. GU have not retracement. Yes. GU has no retracement. I guess that's where your experience comes in, like how many times you've seen this happen. Because now when you look on the 15-minute candles, they're just making lower highs and lower lows. And when I'm taking a trade, I keep that in mind. Because like yesterday on gold kind of like did the same thing on the 30-minute. Closed below, and then, you know, it made a lower low, and the rest made like a lower high and another lower low. Wait, was on the 15? Yeah, right here. 30-minute. Next one continued moving down. I saw 2 trades I wanted to take, and now when I look back at them, they both would have ended in losses. Actually, GJ would have been in profits. The sells here. Sells here at New York Open. But the other one would have been a loss. That would have been the gold buy. Gold buy when this 30-minute candle closed bullish. Do we take that GP CAD as the retracement? Well, you know, the pound is weak. pound is weak, CAD is what, strong? So it depends. I wouldn't like to trade GP CAD here. I'd want this to close to see where it closes. If it closes bearish, that means it heads down, but if it closes back in the range, that means it heads up and does a little bit of a retracement. Gold buy, question mark. Sure. Buy gold. Buy it. See,
How would you buy gold or? I took a sell off that 30-minute close and grabbed
You
it
have
for
to
15
remember when
pips.
you're broke, so you appreciate it even more, and so you don't blow it and go broke again, fam. Real talk. Yeah, I got my dollars up now, fam. But I remember the times when I was broke.
this dude is holding $200 and he's like, hey, I got my dollars now, fam. You gotta stay humble when you get money, you know?
Yeah, I love Six Buzz. I always respond now. It's just it's just so entertaining. You know? It's like the only place I'll make comments, only Instagram post I'll make comments on.
Yeah, because no one gives a shit.
Yeah, it's funny. It makes me laugh.
Yeah, it was this one right there.
Yeah, I got my dollars up now, fam. But I remember the times when I was broke. When you have money, you have to remember when you were broke, so you appreciate it even more, and so you don't blow it and go broke again, fam. Real talk.
If someone's trying to come to Toronto, this is Toronto right here.
That's great. That's what happens in Toronto every day.
Yep.
That's why I have to finish the stream at 9:30.
Hey. This is downtown. Imagine someone says, yo, we gotta move to Canada, man.
That's why we finish trading at 9:30. We gotta be downtown.
Yeah. You gotta go watch the show. Wow, gold came down hard after breaking that support.
Yeah. It looks like it's bouncing back to 1460 again.
Yeah.
So it looks like we'll go down to 1460. Maybe bounce again. Or it just seems like we're in that range. It's very difficult. I mean,
yeah,
you can trade off the smaller time frames. You have success, but it's just you don't know where it's going to reject.
Yeah, 1463 is like a good level here too.
Yes.
Ooh. See, it's so nice to just watch price.
Yeah. GJ looks pretty clean now. If you look on the 15-minute, we had a massive rejection, and now we're starting to drop. So
yeah.
It looks like we're going to get the move. This here was the liquidity grab, and now this move will probably drop right to here to end the hour.
Yes, I agree with that. 5 minutes are dropping.
So if you're in this trade now, I think you're good to like 132 500.
Oh, the pound is weak.
Yeah.
The Chinese indicator also says pound is weak.
And the good thing is, if you're trading the pound, this would be the chance where you go into trade GU, because you have a strong U.S. dollar right now and a weak weak pound. So you would probably get a bigger and a faster move on GU. If you're looking at that. GCAD. GCAD seems a little messy, but it does seem like it's dropping as well. So all the pound pairs are doing its thing.
The thing with GCAD is that CAD had bad news.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
With Euro Pound, we're approaching a major resistance level at 89 131, so it's something to keep in mind. But
oh,
oh,
thanks, Ted.
right. No problem.
Oh,
Thanks, everybody.
shit.
Thanks, everybody. Oh, yeah, we got the 500. Close, coming in. Oh, just extend your gray line a little bit higher, like right over to here. A little bit higher. I think we're going to hit 500.
Yeah, we're going to hit 500.
All right. So it's that stupid consolidation area that bothers me. But I think the hour candle has enough to push to break through that. I think it's just going to bounce around 550 for a bit.
That was a very good call. No drawdown.
No drawdown. Very good. Thanks for that signal. You're welcome. Well, I mean, so now when you look back at it, you can see on the smaller time frames, you can see on the 15-minute, you can say, hey, we had a massive rejection on the 15-minute. You know, this massive rejection, you know, where could I have taken that trade? And then you would jump into the smaller time frames and you'd say, hey, this is where the rejection was, and now we start moving. As soon as we see that, you see that you have that drop starting. And then you know, based on where we are in the time, right? So your timing, as we're coming close to the end of the hour, you know that we're going to get this push down probably to 500, and that's at that point you can say, okay, I'm comfortable closing at 500, or I can wait to the next hour to, you know, evaluate. But you'll see right now we're coming close to the end of this, into the gray box. You know that you have an opportunity now. It just tapped in there to say, hey, maybe I need to close this position, or maybe I'll keep it running. So like you know, it's just you make that determination on yourself. But like once it taps into that gray area, I'm always like, hey, I'm good with that trade, right? Because we did what we needed to do. We did the damage, and that's how you stay in the blue all the time, because you're not looking to extend this trade, right? Like once this tapped in here, that was your signal to say, hey, I'm good to go. I don't want to gamble with like what's going to happen over here. As soon as I hit that, that's my trade done. You know, the more that you try to hold trades or try to extend trades, when you know what we just talked about, it just gets you into trouble. It's like take the money when it gets there. Like take that. You know, we tapped into the gray zone. Rakeel drawed it out. That's pretty cool. Like, you know, you get 10 pips, 9 pips. That's okay. Like now, you know, now it's pulling all the way back. What if it goes all the way back up here? Now you're screwed, right? It's just, you just hurt yourself. And this is the reason why people lose money. It's because they don't understand how different candles are going to react at different times. And you say, well, you know, Ted, that's impossible for you to figure that out. I said, well, no, it's not. We saw what happened. We knew where we needed to go. Our target was the gray box. Our target was this gray box. And the reason why it's the gray box is because we have massive rejections all the way over here. So you know, once we tap into it, it's like dipping your toe in hot water. It's gonna pull everything. You know, you're gonna jump out of the bathtub when you dip your foot in hot water, right? So you have to understand that concept. And why did that happen? Just look at the next candle forming. It's a pullback, right, on the smaller time frames, because we traded off the 15-minute time frame. We said to ourselves, this liquidity here has to go somewhere. It's gonna go over to here, and then as soon as it taps it, we know GJ has massive rejections. All you have to do is look at previous history of GJ, and you'll see all the times it has massive rejections, all these massive wicks. So don't be surprised when it does this. Look over here, same thing. So all you had to say to yourself is, well, Ted, how do I know that once we tap here, we're going to go back? It's like, well, look at every time it tapped. Look at all the times it's tapped those rejection points. Look what happens. It pulls away. You can see all that, and that is how you have to trade, and that's the way that you're going to be comfortable trading, when you anticipate what your opponent is going to do once we reach a certain level. Yeah, if it smashes through this, great. You know what? Like, if it smashes through, congratulations, you win all this over here. But the idea is, we don't know that's going to happen, and nobody can predict that. Nobody's a good enough trader to say, yes, we're going to break through that, no problem. don't want to be a good enough trader to do that, because when I start saying things that it has to do when I'm unsure, that's what creates losses, because now you're holding trades and you're hoping for things. And it's like, no, just take what you get and just leave it alone. Chances are the next 15-minute candle will probably break down, but you have your initial tap here. You know, you had basically this whole area here of a trade. You know, you had, you know, 100, you know, 15, 10, 15 pips, 8 to 10, 15 pips, 8 to 15 pips. I mean, why not take that? It's an easy trade with GJ. It was like a 5-minute trade. So just always keep that in mind. Always look to the left and see what's happened previously, and that will help you moving forward.
Definitely no buys. This was a move. If you've missed it, you've missed it. No chasing trades. How much to join Signal Group? Free every day. But I think the thing is, like, you have to understand why it moved. Because there's another thing saying like, oh wow, he was right, and there's another thing saying that, okay, you know what, this made sense. So you have to shift from saying, oh look, he was right, to a mindset of saying, okay, I understand why someone was right or someone was wrong. OGU, oh very nice. Notes for next time. Let's check Euro USD. Oh, yeah, Euro USD is respecting this level here.
Hey, 6 pips on EJ.
Hey! Oh!
Hey!
Oof.
Yeah. Gold is dropping, so you know you can see now on the 30-minute candle that we're approaching a zone again on the 30-minute. So this is where you have to sort of understand now and manage your trades, right? So you say, okay, at this point, if gold is dropping, and we look at sort of what's happening with gold, you can see where is there possible traffic right over here. So you know that as this candle starts to creep down, if it comes over to even over to here, that might be a sign of, hey, it's time to exit. You know, if you're going to hold, you have to understand that maybe this might just finish over here instead of over down here. So you have to be able to manage that trade as well. So just really be careful, because once again, we're coming towards the hour close, so you might get a push further down to finish that, and then say, okay, if it reaches 1461, maybe I'm closing that trade, because you can see the 30-minute candle, how much it dropped already, right? So if you were in, there was a couple people that said that they were in from the beginning of the 30-minute candle. You can see that you were in from essentially 1465.50, and now you're at 1463. That's like 20 pips. So that was a very good trade. So you make the decision and say, hey, maybe I lock up profit at this level here. Maybe that's my profit, and I take my 10 pips, which are, you know, I'm happy with this trade here, and now I'm just letting it run. Maybe it'll extend down to here and I'll get even more. So it's just something that you have to keep in mind. That's how you manage your trades. understanding what you're comfort with of taking profit, and then letting the trade run a little bit longer after you've secured profits. And that's how you will grow your account exponentially, because at this point, you know, the biggest thing I hear people say is, well, you know, let it either hit your take profit or your stop loss. At sometimes you should just manage the trade and secure money, because then that allows you to stay in the blue all the time. And people say to me, they're like, well, Ted, you rarely lose a trade. It's because once we're 5, 6, 7, 8 pips deep in trade, I move my stop loss 2 pips. I'll let it move. And then, you know what? If it rolls back, then yeah, my trade was only 2 pips. But the thing is, I didn't lose the trade. I'm okay with that, because then there's some days where the trade runs a little harder and I make more on that while I've secured profit, and I just keep moving my stop loss every 5 pips or every 10 pips, depending how fast the trade's moving. You have to get used to that, because the small little wins keep your confidence up, but it also keeps moving your account forward. So every day that you have a trade and you have your profit secured, you're not taking a loss. Like, you haven't done something for nothing. Even if it's 2 pips, 3 pips, it's still money. The biggest fallacy in trading is that you have to trade and you have to get a certain target. It's like, no, you don't need a certain target. You just need to be able to stay in the game, because there's going to be some days where you only get 3 pips or 2 pips, and people laugh, right? People laugh at me and they say, well, you traded 100 lot with 2 pips. You made $2,000. That's stupid. I could have done that with 5 pips. Yeah, but doing a $2,000 trade with 5 pips, or a 5 lot trade, that's 40 pips you have to try and get. How many times are you going to get a 40 pip trade with a $5 lot? You're not going to get that all the time. Yes, there's possibilities where the trade runs, but it's the same thing with me. I get a 40 pip trade on a 100 lot, that's $40,000. Yeah, I know that, but I'm doing the exact same thing I'd be doing on a 5 lot. So on a 5 lot trade, yeah, if I only got 2 pips, that's not a lot of money. It's okay, but you're staying in the blue. You're not hitting your stop loss and losing money every single time. What you're doing is you're saying, hey, whatever happens with this trade happens, because if the trade is meant to go down, it's going to go down. If the trade is meant to go up, it's going to go up. You know what? There's lots of times where it hits your stop loss and you're like, oh, the trade continued. That's okay, because you're going to catch one where it drops 50 or 60 pips and you're going to make your money. But all the times that you hit your stop loss and profit, you didn't lose anything. You just lost opportunity. You didn't lose money. I don't care about losing opportunity. I care about losing money. And if I'm always hitting my stop loss, it's eating away at my account. If I'm getting lost in opportunity, all that's happening is I'm just wasting my time. That's it. I'm just wasting time. Like today I traded, I got like 2 trades. Fine. You know what? If gold drops to 1,400, I lost $60 in opportunity. I didn't lose $60 or $60,000 or $600,000. I didn't lose any of that money. I just lost opportunity. Just get used to that. Throw everything that you read on the internet away. Trading evolves. People have not evolved with trading. People still think that, hey, I have to do this to be successful. If that was the case, why aren't hundreds of thousands of people successful using that method? The reason why they're not successful is because they don't adapt to the changing environment that trading's going through. There's more machines involved, there's more algorithms, it's easier to get into the market. So adjust your trading to turn around and take positions and just secure the bag every day. You'll never be upset making money every single day, even if it's $1. The fact that you're progressing, if you secure $1 a day, that's $360 that you've made without hurting your account, instead of trying to chase that money back. And all the times that the trade runs longer, it's just a bonus. And you'll get used to having all blue. You'll see consistently blue, and you'll see, yeah, some trades you make 50 cents, or some trades you make $1. And you're like, well, that was a shitty trade. Yeah, I see it all the time. I make a 2 pip trade and I paid $700 in commission. Yeah, so it's $1,400 profit. Like, that sucks. But you know what? I didn't lose. I didn't lose anything. It's just slowly those $1,400, those $2,000 trades, those $4,000 trades, those add up after time. It's the same thing. You'll get a $4 trade or a $6 trade. Those will add up. You know, you get a $100 trade. Sometimes you get a $500 trade. It just keeps adding up. And you have to get used to the fact that this is a long-term game. You're just going to keep accumulating. Trying to go for these massive trades, how many times are we going to find a massive trade? You're not. If you're here every day, you should be happy collecting 5 pips, 10 pips, 15 pips, because over the week, you have collected 60, 70 pips. And all those people trying to swing trade and they get stopped out with like a 30 pip stop, or, you know, they were trying to get a 120 pip trade. I mean, how many times do you see those? Just keep track of the people that are hitting 100 pip trades and see how often they post and see what they're posting about. And then look at your trading and be like, hey, wait a second, I'm consistently grabbing every day for the market. These guys are only showing up when it's something positive. We don't see any negative from them. And that's the problem. It's people are not showing the full trading, because we see it every day. Some days you get like a 20 pip trade, some days you get like a 5 pip trade. It's just the nature of the business. Get used to it and just be comforted in the fact that you didn't lose anything. I look at my trading, yeah, I lose maybe 1 or 2 trades once in a while, but the rest of them, yeah, I move my stop loss because I don't want to lose money when I didn't have to lose money.
Did someone run over Ted? Because that car passed and it stopped talking.
Oh yeah, it blew out my eardrums, that's why. That's what happens when I have a good mic now. I can hear everything really clear. Yeah, it's just, I just think it's important that people see the real side of trading. That if you're doing the same thing every day and you're coming to the markets and you're putting in an honest attempt, you will be profitable, but it's just going to be a slow, steady grind. And I've done it over the last 5 years. I know what the grind's like. It's just slow and steady. You know, it sucks making $30 or $40 or $20 or $5 a trade. It sucks. No, I'm not going to say that it's great. It's not glamorous, but if you can't consistently make the $5 trades, you're not going to make the $500 trades, and you're not going to make the $5,000 or the $50,000 trades. You're just not going to do it, because you're always going to have that hesitation. You're always going to have that fear. Being able to be confident in the market means that you're controlling a lot of variables. You're controlling the amount you're going to risk, the amount you could lose, all those things. Does 100 lots execute instantly without slippage? No, I get slipped all the time. I always look, even when I close, I get slipped a lot too. Even with a stop loss, I get slipped maybe like half a pip or a pip sometimes. It's just, it is part of, you have to accept it. And there's some times where the slippage is in my favor too, right? So you just get used to it.
Man, Ted, it's so true when you said like the grind. Like I trade like $1 per pip, and you know, baby pips, and it's hard like seeing you guys like because of your big ass lots, but I know that my time will come. It's a slow, steady grind. I know that my $1 per pips, once I up my lots, could be a lot more, you know?
Well, yeah, but here's the thing, and I tell people this all the time, and Alex, you're a good example. You're consistently winning. All you need to do is just stay on that track. And this is the part where people, they screw up, because I know people in your position, and I know people that have been destroyed in your position. It's because what they do is they get overconfident, and they'll turn around and say, well, I can do this on a bigger position. And a lot of times what ends up happening is you forget how you were consistent to begin with the smaller positions. And the thing is, there's nothing wrong with doing the dollars, the $2, the $5 trades, because you can add that up very quickly. You know, you do a few trades, you make $20 or $30 a day. That's like $100, $200 a week. And you know, then suddenly you're like, well, if I had a bigger account, I would be able to do 2,000 a week. It's not that you wouldn't be able to, it's just that now you would start forcing opportunity, because now you're in the mindset of, hey, I was doing this so long with the smaller lot size, I need to do this on the bigger lot size. And the problem is, and I tell people this, is there's parts of the market that maybe, it's not that you got lucky, it's just that they lended themselves to those trades, and maybe we go for a couple of weeks where we don't have those opportunities. And that's where you've increased your lot size, and that's where you've punished yourself. So I've always told people, a lot of times don't increase your lot size, just add a couple more positions. Just keep adding positions. I traded 10 lot for 8 months straight, and I was doing 6, 7, 8 positions at a time. I was comfortable. I knew that at $1,000, I had done 10 pips basically, or $900 if it was traded in a JPY pair. And I was comfortable because every time I upped my lot size, I lost money. And I got to, 20 lot or 15 lot, I lost money. And it was only recently that I just broke through that. And I just decided, hey, you know what? I got to get used to the fact that it's a bigger lot size. So maybe I can only do 1 trade or 2 trades. Like with a 100 lot trade, I'll do 1 trade. I'll do 2 trades. Like I never overexpose myself because I see how fast the drawdown comes when it does. And it's like, man, you can be in like a 10K drawdown instantly. And that hurts. Like nobody's going to tell you different. And it's going to hurt. Like, when I see my account go negative, even though I have an account to sustain it, I don't want to lose. Like it bothers me because then I'm like, I have to start reevaluating, what did I do wrong? Right? What mistake did I make? And I don't like making mistakes because I always feel that a lot of my analysis I'm confident in because I can sort of visualize the chart and I can see how it's going to react at certain times. So when I start to see a loss, I start to look and say, why are we going the wrong way? Like what's happened here? For the most part. And that's where you get used to with zones, and you start to understand that the rejection points are massive, and that's where you close a little bit earlier just to protect yourself, things like that. But just add a couple more positions. If you're trading like a 0.05 lot or a 0.1 lot or a 0.15 lot, 0.2 lot, and you want to increase a little bit, just add a position or two. It increases your risk a small percentage, but if you're doing things the right way, you're just going to add that extra $5 or $10 onto your back. And maybe those are the positions, the extra 1 position you add, maybe that'll be your runner, and you'll get a little bit more at that point. You'll have a little bit more profit, and that will push you to the next level. And if you stay on that target, you're gonna do really well for yourself. What I did is, when you map out your trading plan, I used to trade for every $100, I would trade a 0.1 lot or a 0.05 lot. So once I got to like 200, or like when I was doing the $6,000 to 1.2 million, I was trading at $5,000 or $6,000. I was trading 0.60 lots, right? And I would keep trading that until I got to 6,000 or 7,000. Then I would go to 0.7. Then I would go to 0.8. Then I would go to 0.9. Then I go to a single lot, right? And I would keep pushing myself that way, so that as my balance increased, I was able to use a larger lot size. But if my balance decreased, I had to reduce my lot size. So I was always bouncing up and down lots, but I was, my balance was continuously churning at that point, where, sometimes with a 0.5 lot or a 0.6 lot, I was getting a longer trade, which would have technically been like a 0.8 lot at like 10 pips or something like that. So, when you turn around and you manage that and you map out a plan for yourself, you'll be surprised how fast you can stick to a plan. If you mapped out your $100 account or your $500 account, and you put the lot sizes you were going to use at every single balance, and you stuck with that, you'd be surprised how fast you can churn your account and you can move because you're very regimented and you have an exact plan.
Man, I don't mind slow days when Ted is taking knowledge like that. Thank you.
That was very informative. Thank you, Ted.
Yeah, no problem. It's just, you know, when you map out, like, I'm very specific, I'm very analytical in everything that I do. You know, and Alex knows this, a lot of guys know this, is like, even when we were in Miami and people hear me talk, it's like everything I talk about is very regimented. Like, I want certain things to eat, I do certain things, I act a certain way. Even when we were at the casino in Miami, I played a certain way. And I was explaining to everybody when I was playing exactly the way I was gambling, and people were sitting there going, man, your whole life is just one big, like, rule book. And it's like, yeah, everything I do is based on rules. There always has to be rules. And that's not a bad thing, because you create your own rules, but it keeps you in check. And people think that I'm very, I'm very regimented, I'm very hard, I'm very difficult to deal with. Yeah, I am difficult, because I know exactly what I want. I don't like to deviate. I don't like different foods. I don't want to try anything new. I just want what I want. And that's how I've lived my life. And maybe that's why I'm a good trader, because I just do exactly what I want, how I want to do it. I don't deviate. I don't like to change anything. I don't care what everybody else is doing. Not in the sense that I don't like what they're doing. I love what you guys do, but that's not for me. I don't care. You tell me how you trade, I say that's great. Congratulations. You're not going to switch me. I'm like a Sheldon Cooper of trading. Like, you're not going to get me to switch anything. I just do what I do. I sit in the same spot. I eat the same food. I have the same breakfast in the morning. I wake up at the same time. I do everything the same. I don't like deviating. If you piss me off, I get angry for like days. It's just how I am. You know, it's just what you do. You know.
So Ted,
yeah.
You saying that now, then if you're, I guess, quote unquote, the type of person that would like do the same thing over like routinely, that would beg the question: how would somebody like you grow? Like,
you don't.
That, I mean, on contrary to what you're saying about your trading regimen, I mean, you had to like change certain things. So I guess in some cases you were growing. Didn't you say that?
I didn't change anything. All I kept doing was doing the same thing over and over again. It's once you found your ability, it was just repetition, right? Like, the thing is, you have to be satisfied. When you're trading, you have to be satisfied with what you're good at. I was never good at swing trading.
Good morning.
And I don't care that I'm not good at swing trading. I don't care that other people are great at swing trading. Right? It's the same thing.
My brace has got me not even giving a shit.
Yeah, continue? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So
dude, mute your mic.
Yeah.
So when you look at that and you say, you know
what I heard? The metro station?
Yo, we killed you with this guy, please.
Get that guy, man.
Oh, fuck, man. They're trying to get some knowledge, guys are talking over the man.
Yo, Brian.
Trying to give knowledge there, and you guys are fucking shit. Get off the stream if you want to touch.
Yeah, don't get to Sean mad. He's gonna come and break your monitor. No, but it's just, you know, you look at everybody that has discipline and everybody that's good at what they do. Your growth comes from doing the same thing over and over again, and the doing the same thing over and over again, and where you grow is through the refinement of what you're doing. So what I mean by that is, we were always trading off a certain time frame, and then we moved to another time frame, then we moved to another time frame, and then we moved to a certain session, and then we moved to a certain hour in the session. That's where your growth comes from. So it's more of, how can I refine my process? It's not necessarily, hey, I'm changing or I'm getting better. It's, I'm doing something good right now. How can I make that better? I think that's your question, or your answer to your question is, where do you get growth from? It's like, you know, like I talked to Sean, he messages me about lifting weights, and I apply his principles, but I can't apply everything because I'm not that good at what I do. But I keep in the back of my mind certain things that he says that I can control, like how I lift, what I lift, why I'm lifting, understanding what I'm doing. So now I'm not getting better at lifting. Like I'm not lifting more, but I'm more conscious on how I'm lifting so that I can understand the growth of my muscle a bit more. Like we were talking about biceps, and I didn't know biceps, that it's a smaller ligament, right? Because you always see people with big arms, you're like, oh man, if I lift, I'm gonna get bigger. And he's like, no, don't lift more. Do more repetition, and that will grow the arm, and then use other movements to help grow the arm. Don't try and focus on just the arm. Focus on other things that will support the arm. So
Gotcha.
it didn't change my workout, but it changed the way I thought of my workout.
Okay, I guess that in some cases that is considered growth, but I get what you're saying though. Tomato, whatever.
Yeah. How did you look from a higher time frame on a 30-minute, 1 hour down to 5 minute and 1 minute? It's understanding how the candles form at those time frames, and understanding at different hours in the day and different half hours in the day that we're going to get pushes. Like you can see right now, GJ dropped back into that level again, right? Where we're talking that gray zone. And why did we say that was going to happen? Because the last 15 minutes of the last hour candle pulled back, and now we've pushed down to fill that again. Right? So you know that the next hour candle with momentum should fill that wick, right? And that's exactly what we said. Now, will this hour candle continue down? Perhaps. But once again, we're at a major support level. So basically, you have received a second chance to exit the position, right? And that's what I always tell people is sometimes you're given a grace period where the market will let you exit again, and that's when you should leave. Like this is a point where I learned this a lot, where the market tends to tap back into that gray area, and it's like, okay, I missed the first exit, I'm not missing the second. And I don't care if it drops further down, because there's been a lot of times where it'll reject this point and it'll push right back up, and then you're stuck, right? So these are certain things to understand and to say, hey, what do I need to do to be profitable or be successful? It's like, taking opportunities and understanding that once you reach your take profit point, that's your take profit point. It's not like, oh, well, go, now we're going to drop to 132,200, so I'm going to hold this trade longer. It's like, no, if your profit was originally 132,500, you've now exited the trade and you're done for the day. You've got to get used to just exiting with the comfort level that you made the correct decision at that point in time. That's all. So really keep that in mind as you're trading and understanding your abilities, because there's going to be times where, the market's going to drop, but then it's going to rip right back, and it's going to be like you had the opportunity to leave and you didn't, and now you're stuck.
Oh man, you don't know how many times that, I wouldn't say how many times it happened, but I've seen it happen, and I was just like, I'm glad I got out of the trade. And I think FOMO is just something that's very, very dangerous. Like, just seeing it happen, like, okay, I gotta stay in the trade. And then you look back at this, it dropped like say 30, 35 ticks. Like, damn, I could have made extra money. But like that type of thinking is where greed creeps up on you, and then you don't even know, and then you're looking at it, it's like, it just retraces back like say 20, 25 ticks, and you're pretty much screwed.
Yep.
Like it's doing it right now. Like, and people will be like, oh my gosh, it's just crazy. So it's the discipline. And I think that's where you, Ted, I guess shine, because you just look at it and say, okay, I made my trade and I'm out. I don't care what happens afterwards. Who cares? And there's another day to make money the next day or whatever the case may be.
It's just experience, and it's like yesterday gold dropped $30. How much did I make out of that? Nothing. Oh well.
Yeah, and we were talking about it too. The whole what is it? The head and shoulders thing, and it did
exactly
what it's supposed to, and then it's like, okay, I saw it like. Yeah, and it's like, damn, I could have made money, but I'm thinking to myself, no, dude, like, there's going to be another time to make money. So it's
exactly, 100%.
Hey, that's 6 years of a lot of different things. That's crazy, Ted. Thank you for sharing all this, man.
Hey, Rakeel. Oh, they probably stepped away.
All right, everybody, I'm gonna head off. Hope everyone has a nice day.
Thank you, Roger.
Take care. Have fun.
Thank you, Mr. Roger.
Thank you, Mr.
Roger.
Juan.
No, Juan. Who's Juan?
You.
No, I'm not Juan.
You Juan.
I'm Mexican, but not Juan.
Mexican. I think it's because you called him Roger.
Yeah.
With an ER.
Yeah, his message.
So it's both of these. It's both of the emails.
What full margin trade to take?
She could add 5%.
Oh, Rakeel, I had a question for you just before you go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned, I think maybe a couple of streams ago, that the more I guess, any pair consolidates, the harder it would break out or break down. What book was that from again?
Oh, that's from 10 Essentials of Forex.
Okay, there we go. That's what I was trying to remember. All right, thank you.
Yeah, it was pretty good. 10 Essentials. Oh, this is of hiking.
I need that.
Oh, look, you got the PDF for it.
Oh, they got the PDF. Okay, I'm downloading it on my phone.
Yeah, there you go. You got the whole
Perfect. Okay.
PDF.
All right, thanks. There you go. 10 cents of Forex trading. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, you can download the whole book. All right, take care, everyone. Goodbye.
Shukriya, Rakeel.
Shukriya, shukriya.